All right, in this video, we're going to go through reaction 1 for lesson 90. We're going to be looking at a precipitation reaction that uses two different ratios of our reactants, calcium chloride, which we can see here is a clear, colorless solution, and sodium carbonate solution, which again is clear and colorless. So make sure you write down those observations to begin with. Into our 5 test tubes, 1 through 5, we're going to add different ratios of the calcium chloride to sodium carbonate. The total number of drops in each test tube is going to be 24, but we're going to vary the amount of calcium chloride and sodium carbonate. So we're going to start by adding our calcium chloride to each one. We should not see any reaction to begin. The first one had 4 drops. The second test tube will have 6 drops. The third one will have 12. The fourth one will have 18. And then the fifth one will have 20. So now we're going to add some sodium carbonate to each one to get our total number of drops up to 24. As I do this, I want you to write down any observations that you notice in the test tube of any signs of reaction to begin with. If needed, pause the video after I add some of the sodium carbonate. So test tube 1 is going to get 20 drops. Test tube 2 is going to get 18. Test tube 3 is going to get 12. Then test tube 4 is going to get 6. And then test tube 5 is going to get 4. So what we should notice is that most of the test tubes have formed a white precipitate, so a white solid. Now, this is a very fine precipitate, which will take some time to settle. So I have 5 test tubes with these same ratios already made, so we can see what these would look like after settling for 10 minutes. So now we can see that the precipitate has settled to the bottom in each of the test tubes. So it's the grayish part down here. So you'll notice as we look at it, test tube 5 and test tube 1 look like they've produced some of the smallest amounts. Test tube 2 and 4 are somewhere in the middle. And test tube 3 has produced the largest amount of precipitate. So now using the lab questions, figure out the ratios of calcium chloride to sodium carbonate in each test tube, and make sure you make note of which test tube produced the most solid.